Alright, so one funny criticism that I got last night was that apparently I did not show enough of Portland and how damaged it is, because it's so damaged. And I didn't shoot enough video last night. Supposedly, people accuse me of hiding damage. So I figure tonight, I'm walking down there, I'll save this video, and that way we can show people how much damage I hid or whatever it is. This is Portland, that's a Range Rover. Dude doesn't seem particularly worried. As you can see, the windows are not boarded up. You can go buy nice things if you'd like. This is Pal's, the bookstore you always go to, surrounded by terrorist vagrants. So you can tell people use bikes in Portland. They must be communists. I hate bikes. That's actually true. Sorry, bikers. I mean, who likes biking, really? You should run. So, as you can see, windows are not boarded up. Things are not busted up. The city is fine. Again, one of the big things people said last night was that I did not show enough pictures of damage. So I'm going to film my whole walk down tonight and save the video and send it to the 3 people who said that to me. As you can tell, Portland is under siege, apparently by a Whole Foods movement. Also a microbrewery movement. There's a boarded up window. So there's the first boarded up window. That business appears to be totally closed, not because of protests. Don't want to be accused of hiding things here, walking through Portland. By the way, it's really nice in Portland, so all you people in the Rogue Valley, haha. It's probably 10 degrees cooler here than Rogue Valley. So as you can see, there's no boarded up windows. This is Pal's. I wish it was open. It makes me sad. It's the best bookstore in the world. There is Sizzle Pie. This is a historic intersection in downtown Portland or in the Pearl. That is not damaged. That's just a gate because the business is closed because of COVID. As you can tell, it does not appear to be a need for the military right here, right now. I may need a piece of pizza and a beer, which appears to be happening over there. Although I kind of want to go to the food trucks, but I'm really worried about being shot by a terrorist organization. So again, I kind of got accused last night of hiding damage. So I'm taking my whole walk down tonight and recording this video to show how much hiding I did. Those flowers not torn up by Antifa. These are pallets. This is not Antifa barriers. Those are tables. Those are put up by the restaurants so that their patrons don't die from fast driving Republicans and Democrats. As you can see, downtown Portland under siege from a terrorist organization. Lots of damage. It's hideous here, by the way. I'm scared for my life. I will be later. So again, last night I got accused of hiding damage to buildings and stuff as I walked down. So I'm shooting my whole walk down just to show what Portland looks like right now. So here's what we're doing. There is some trash. Reminds me of my hometown. Again, this is the city that they've decided to send the military to. And we know what they're saying on their news stations. As you can see, somebody made these wonderful squares out of street art here. I don't understand the hatred of street art anyway, but that's a separate issue. As you can tell, it's not even happening. This is the Benson. It's the chodiest hotel in Portland. Never stay there. Rooms are terrible. Sorry, Benson. Hope you're not watching this. There's some homeless people. I don't think that they are being messed with by the military. As you can see, they like Black lives. So this is the damage. I'm walking to downtown Portland. I started at the historic Deschutes Brewery near Powell's Bookstore. Currently walking by, again, the sort of douchiest hotel in town, the Benson. As you can tell, even though it's dorky as hell, nothing broken, nothing painted on. Hipster bars. It's incredibly pleasant in Portland tonight. There is one of Portland's oldest strip clubs for you weirdos. Mary's Club. Here's the Benson. You can see beautiful downtown Portland. It's not ablaze. There's some people hanging out. There's some noise from an air conditioner. It's the scariest thing we've encountered so far is a noisy air conditioner. But it's gonna get scary probably about 11:30 when the military creates a scene for cable news, which I'll also be there. But it's not scary in Portland, and the military does not need to be here. Again, here's some boarded up stuff. So that's the first boards I've seen. That's the Citizens Bank that is boarded up. I don't see much graffiti or damage. It does appear somebody graffitied this end one and they painted over it maybe. But there you go. We have some boards. I'll take this block since the light was against me. Again, they still have their stuff boarded up. It's actually the Wells Fargo building. So, nothing over there at the restaurant. The Three Kings building is for sale. Should anyone currently be wanting to move to a terrorist-run city. Yes, Connor, I will send the feds to Daytime Mary's. If they went there, they probably wouldn't make it to the nighttime. They would be so smitten. There's some police activity. Here's some more boards. So this place is chosen to board up. Again, not really like graffitied. And not like roving gangs of violent criminals blowing shit up anyway. Portland's pretty dope. It's a city of like 650,000 people. It's got the best beer in the world. Really good Thai food. And one of the coolest bookstores in the universe. I have like never felt in danger in Portland. Compared to even Medford. I mean, I'm sure it's here, it's everywhere, but like, it's pretty chilled out here. This place has done a pretty good job. But we are now just a few blocks away from where every night our government goes to war with us. And this is what they're publicizing on Fox News as being a crazy den of damaged inequity. It's a bunch of like $80,000 cars. You know, Portlanders are doing well. There's a super nice bar, Patrick Mahomes. Again, there are some places that have chosen to board up. So this beer and wine shop that actually is closed, but it's boarded up since it's closed. But this is the Portland that you're being told on the news is full of damage and violence. Last night I got accused of hiding the damage, so I'm filming my whole walk downtown. What I've seen is a lot of $80,000 cars, some single-speed bicycles, and really no damage. I've seen some places that chose to board up their windows, but none that were damaged underneath those boarded up windows. So, and this fence is always here because this building is closed and for sale. That nothing to do with any protest. So, you know, this is really exciting. I'm sure everybody that's my friend already knew that Portland wasn't in need of a military intervention, but since some of the posts have gone viral and people have critiqued it for hiding damage, I just want to film the whole walk. I will say this, I haven't been in Portland since the quarantine was going on, and it is still much more shut down than Southern Oregon or anywhere I've been during the quarantine. And it's interesting to think about how shut down it got probably during the very middle of things, because it's pretty sparse, to be honest. Very few businesses are open. Again, it's a nice day in Portland. There's some places, we're getting into some places that have chosen, again, to board up. And then there's places across the street that have not chosen to board up, including Nike. It looks like more of the places that chose to board up were businesses that are closed. So like the doors are boarded up too, you know. But you know, you think a bunch of communist protesters would probably go for Nike first if they were trying to tear the shit out of a city. I don't know. Sorry, Nike. I'm wearing Nikes right now, but I still think that's true. Pioneer Place closed right now, boarded up, art all over it. So I'll show you this because I guess this is damage insofar as painting on plywood that will be thrown away later is damage. And I think it's worth more because I wouldn't buy plywood, but I would buy some of this shit. So Pioneer Place has been closed for months, and you know, the mall dude, in order to protect his investment, put up these boards, no damage otherwise. And here's what you got. So this is the evil, you know, militaristic force. I think that says, what, protect your future? Yeah, that's terrible. We don't really want people thinking incendiary things like that. That seems to say unity. That's Elijah McClain. So I just want to show the whole walk down to the protest tonight because there's a lot of talk about damage. People saying I was hiding damage. That appears to be Kendra. We've got these boards that were put up on the mall that's been closed for 4 months have been painted on. So far that is the top damage I've seen. The value of the naked plywood was greatly diminished by turning it into an invaluable piece of art. I'm sure the owner was going to save it and use it for a very important plywood project where things needed to be bare. So there you see people of Portland in their very violent ways. I think maybe he's responding to some of that. Maybe. Could it be that? Or is it all the violence? Again, to everybody in the Rogue Valley, it's at least 10 degrees cooler here, so you're all suckers. Tiffany and Company put boards up on its windows. It's been closed for months. And as you see, they actually did the painting. And it appears quite artistically did the painting. I guess I just want to show this because I didn't see it. So here's, it can't be that this is what Donald Trump or Bill Barr is responding to. It has to be the violence and property damage, not that businesses are putting up things like this and standing in solidarity with a community that's progressive enough to know it's time to be loud. It's time to enact change for Black lives in this country, and it's not time to be intimidated by people who will come here with tear gas and terrorize the community. So Microsoft has chosen to board up. I'm sure the anti-vaxxer, COVID sucks, Bill Gates people were excited about that possible damage. And there's the other side of Pioneer Place, unpainted on. Again, we're starting to see more boards. So AT&T boarded up, Nordstrom Rack is not, Ross Dress for Less is not, Microsoft is, Chipotle is, and I think I see the first broken thing I've seen, which appears to be a window at Chipotle. So if you guys are wondering, like, how serious it's gotten, that does appear to be a broken window at Chipotle. It's like at least $300 worth of property damage, which is much less property damage than Chipotle is responsible for in my colon. But we won't talk about that in public. There's a dive bar open. Can't even believe that's true. I wonder if they're operating legally. I wish the microbreweries were open, but alas, they are not. And actually, if you're gonna get tear gassed, it's a good idea not to have a beer. So this is downtown Portland. Again, last night I got accused of hiding damage, so I just wanted to film the whole trip down, show you what Portland's like. It's one of my favorite American cities. Some businesses, again, most of them are the ones that are completely closed, have chosen to board up. We're now within about 2 blocks of the federal courthouse. We're about to come up on one of the greatest Vietnamese restaurants in history, Luc Lac. If you ever come out here, hey Missy, if you ever come out here, you've got to go to Luc Lac. Josh Ewing took me the very first time. We were trying a case, we went for lunch, and I did not want to go back and finish the case. I just wanted to eat more and more of it. As you can see, clearly these people have been terrorized by the protesters. Luc Lac also, as you can tell, has got a lot of damage. It's really terrible. They must hate it. Oh wait, they painted that. Okay, I get it. They're supportive. Maybe that's why their food is good, because they're loving people. So again, we're within a block now. Actually, this is the next block. You're gonna see some spray paint on the federal courthouse. I think that's what's shocking some people, is the spray paint on the federal courthouse. But that right there at the next traffic light, that's ground zero of the anarchist uprising in Portland, Oregon. And as you can tell, that's not damage, by the way. That's just construction. So we'll get all the damage. That looks like damage done by a crappy landlord. But this is the building, right? You'll see it tonight when they come out and they pull out their assault rifles and they shine flashlights at us and bang batons on the ground and shoot tear gas at us, pelt us with pepper pellets and rubber bullets. This last night right here, I was shot with tear gas standing right here last night. So again, this is the damage. I think we can see it. A power washer would probably fix it, but instead we get black water. And I don't know if you guys watch today's news, but it's probably coming close to you too. So now you can see the early parts. It will be different tonight, I will say. I will end up forming a line out front. I love the moms groups. I'm gonna hang out with them. Tonight there's a moms and a dads group, so the moms and the dads of Portland are coming to stand in the front, be front and center. This is the building. They don't even have the fence up tonight, so that's kind of interesting. The fence, notorious fence, was like right here last night. That's the park that has been taken over. As you can see, you can get clothes, food, drinks, health, medic, everything for free. No, it's not perfect, but it's pretty fucking awesome, to be honest. And this is the damage. It's this paint. As you can see, there's some people in a wheelchair playing guitar, violin. There's some people chanting Black Lives Matter. But this spray paint right here. This spray paint right here is one we suspended, 900 years of law. Got rid of basic concepts like due process and state rights, and started arresting and abducting American citizens without a warrant by people who have no identification on, who nobody knows why they're here and who they work for, and no congressman, governor, mayor, sheriff, chief of police, or anyone that's responsible for this place wants them here. So, again, this is the very street that the federal courthouse is on. So this is where the fire was lit. It was in this funky round thing, roundabout, I guess. It's not really a roundabout. In the middle of the road, that's it. That's the damage. As you can see, the rest of the park, it does look like it needs to be watered because people have been walking all over it, which offends the aesthete in me, I guess. But there you go. We just walked through. That's that right there. That is ground zero. You have seen it. You've seen the property damage. This is right across the park. They didn't bar it up. No problems. Some places boarded up. These people are not worried about their cars. It's also kind of nice out, by the way. I wish that we were hanging out for cooler reasons. Although what cooler reason is there to hang out really than standing up for what's right? And there'll probably be about 3,000 people here tonight. And I'm proud to be one of them. So here we go. This is probably going to offend some Fox News folks. That's the F word, and it references police. I mean, they all like Snoop Dogg, but they don't listen that closely, I guess. Again, that's damage, I guess, because they brought in fake fencing. But this is another building in the same park. That's a building in the same park. Again, that's the federal courthouse. That's the jail. These are all parks. These are, prominent, giant Portland businesses. They have no windows boarded up. As you can see, this park, again, really nice. Might offend you to know that sign says F the police on it and has an anarchy symbol. And that, I think that's what's causing the military to be here. That would be criminal mischief in the third degree. So criminal mischief in the third degree in Oregon is a Class C misdemeanor. You can expect to be fined $50 if you don't have a record. The Medford Municipal Court would, this brick thing has been painted on. The Medford Municipal Court would give you a deferred sentencing agreement. Even if you didn't have a lawyer, you could just go ask for it for yourself. That would be the punishment for criminal mischief in the third degree, not rubber bullets to the face. So I'm probably going to turn this off soon just because I think I might go hang out for 20 minutes before I get in a group of moms and dads. But again, there is a fence here. So, but you'd think if people were like hurling rocks and burning buildings down, that the chain link fence probably wouldn't help them much. And there's a fitness place. Again, super nice day in Portland. I just want to make it clear to the people that were critiquing everything about all this violence and damage in Portland, what we're really talking about, which is some spray paint on some brick things, which I don't know what city you guys have been in where you don't see that, but I actually love it. I wish some of this was more stylish, but I seek it out in places, and Even places like Boise, Idaho let people do street art nowadays. So it's interesting that that's the damage we're really talking about predominantly. And yet, we're sending the military in, and I'm sure it's not to silence dissent or make us look ridiculous or something up here in the Pacific Northwest when we're doing well with the COVID infections and we're passing police reform and standing up for what's right. I'm sure that's not the real reason. I'm sure it's because of this violence on these streets. Again, we're now back on the street that the federal courthouse is on. I'm walking back up to finish this particular video. There's the Poke Bar, or maybe you guys would like the Portland Kettle for a little corned beef. Want to live at the Essex House, or get some Starbucks. I mean, I remember watching a few weeks ago, everybody's losing their mind over a Starbucks being broken into. Well, they sent the military here. There's the federal courthouse. There's a Starbucks. They're fucking open, man. They didn't lose a window. They're probably killing it. All these hipsters. Probably killing it. So I'll come back on a little bit later. I'm gonna meet up with the moms and the dads group because I like those groups, and Kristen Stankiewicz and a few other friends, and we will be here all night until inevitably the federal government comes out and pounds us with munitions. Welcome to America. I think my very first song that I loved the most, Mom's on here, she's saying be safe, was probably Born in the USA. If you think about it, accurately depicts what it's like to be born in the USA. Thank you, Bruce Springsteen. So again, we're now on the same block as all the damage and violence. Did you see that park? You guys would probably like to be there right now. I'm happy to be here in that way too. It's actually nice. But here we go. So this is the other damage I've seen, is this. You can see here, this is the federal building. People have painted a pig whose eyes have X's over it. And then, as you can see, federal has been turned into fascist. So that and the spray paint to the other building, and that spray paint to the bricks on the other side of the park is the extent of the damage on this block that's been done by these protests. So, and I mean, I hate to say this to you, Presidente, but maybe they wouldn't change federal to fascist if you weren't one. Sending the military in here to deal with this is fascist. So don't be surprised if they change the name again until you change your behavior. So again, this is what we got going on right now. 8:17 at night. Some speeches on this side of the street, so I don't want to interfere with them. I'm going to cross. What's been awesome is these Black Lives Matter speakers have been out here speaking, and they're very inclusive. They're talking about love. They're talking about not damaging property. They bring it up all the time. Don't damage property. Don't damage property. And they're talking about how Black Lives Matter, but what we really need is equality and justice for everyone. And they're about 5 prominent speakers, and then they bring in guest speakers. Like, for instance, last night we heard the speaker who was the girlfriend of the kid that got shot in the head with the rubber bullet, and she spoke for about 10 minutes about his state, about what she thinks about all this, and it was beautiful and terrible. But this goes on for a while. Later on, it tends to be that the crowd starts to sort of line up in front of the courthouse. We're going to see, because there's no fence tonight, what that's like. It may be different than last night, but and then we start to see a lot of military engagement coming out of the front of that building. And then another night they came from the front of the federal building and came down the street. And last night, just to give you guys an idea, last night, so they came out of the front of that building 75 to 100 deep. Okay, we were all standing right in front of it. I scooted down to the other side of the building last night for those videos that you guys saw, and they spread out. They took over this block to that stoplight, up to that end of the park, up to there, and then to the block that would be on the other side of the federal courthouse, all the way up. I gotta get strung up along that side over there, and had to get away. But so they took over those essentially 3 blocks and filled them up with tear gas, pepper balls, flashbangs, and other munitions like that. So he's saying our constitutional rights have been, we should not have to stand out here for 50 days. Our constitutional rights have been stripped from us. That's what you're hearing right now. So again, I just wanted to shoot this video for everybody so that you could see that there is essentially no property damage on this whole area, other than some spray paint on 2 federal buildings and 1 stack of bricks. That's it. We did see one on the 1.5 miles we walked. We saw 1 shattered window at a Chipotle. That's what we saw. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.